We have now covered all the fundamental pieces of the Kafka puzzle: events, topics, partitions, producers, consumers, brokers, and consumer groups. That's a lot of new terminology. Now our goal is to take all those individual pieces and assemble them into a coherent, high-level mental model of how Apache Kafka works. We are going to visualize how all these components interact to form a powerful distributed event streaming platform. Think of this as getting a bird's eye view of the entire Kafka system. This big picture understanding will be invaluable as we delve into more specific details, and especially when we start building applications with Kafka. So let's construct this mental model together. First, let's remember our fundamental unit, the event or record or message. This is the immutable fact, the piece of data that represents something that happened. Every interaction with Kafka revolves around these events. At the very foundation of Kafka's architecture is the Kafka cluster. This isn't just one server, it's a collection of many servers working together. Each server in this cluster is called a broker. Brokers are the workhorses. They store your events, handle requests from applications, and ensure the system remains available even if one server goes down. The reason we have multiple brokers is for scalability, to handle massive amounts of data, and fault tolerance, so the system keeps running even if one broker fails. Remember, in Kafka 4.0, these brokers are now self-managing. They use the KRaft protocol to coordinate with each other and manage all the cluster metadata internally, making deployments simpler and more robust. No more external Zookeeper needed for new clusters. So visualize a resilient network of powerful servers ready to handle your data streams. Now, how does Kafka organize the vast amounts of events flowing through this cluster? Through topics. A topic is simply a logical name or a category for a stream of related events. Think user signups or payment transactions or sensor readings. Crucially, a single topic doesn't live on just one broker. It's distributed across multiple brokers within the cluster. This is how Kafka achieves its scale. Remember, events published to a topic are stored for a configurable retention period, meaning they are durable and can be reread multiple times. To enable Kafka's high throughput and parallel processing, each topic is divided into one or more partitions. Each partition is an ordered append-only sequence of events within a topic. Think of these as individual lanes within our river of events. Partitions are the fundamental unit of parallelism. Producers write events to specific partitions. Consumers read events from specific partitions. We are guaranteed order within a partition. Events within a single partition are strictly ordered. If event A goes to partition 0 and after that event B goes to the same partition, partition 0, a consumer will always see A before B. However, there is no guaranteed order across different partitions of the same topic. Each partition and its replicas live on a specific Kafka broker. So a topic with, say, 3 partitions might have partition 0 on broker 1, partition 1 on broker 2, and partition 2 on broker 3. This distribution is key to balancing the storage and processing load. Visualize your topic as a multi-lane highway, where each lane, which is actually a partition, processes traffic. Traffic is equivalent to events, so each lane processes traffic independently. So each partition is handling events independently but in order within that lane. Now, how do events get into Kafka? Through producers. A producer is your application code that sends or publishes events to a specific topic within the Kafka cluster. Producers can either let Kafka automatically choose a partition, often round robin for even distribution, and producers can also provide a key for the event. If a key is used, Kafka guarantees that all events with the same key will always go to the same partition. This is crucial for maintaining order for related events. For example, all updates for user ID 123 go to the same partition because it has the key which is user ID 123. Producers simply send the event and move on. They don't wait for a response from the consumer, ensuring high throughput. So producers are like the various entry stamps onto our multi-lane highway, sending their specific types of traffic into the appropriate lanes. Lanes are the partitions. Once events are in Kafka, how do applications read them? With consumers and consumer groups. A consumer is your application code that reads or subscribes to events from one or more topics. Multiple consumers can read from the same topic independently, each maintaining its own reading pointer, which is the offset for each partition. And now let's come to consumer groups. Consumer groups are for parallelism. This is where the magic of scalable consumption happens. A consumer group is a collection of consumer instances that work together to consume messages from a topic. Within a consumer group, each partition of a topic is assigned to exactly one consumer instance at a time. This ensures that each event in a topic is processed by only one consumer within that specific group, and the workload is distributed efficiently. If a consumer instance within a group fails, its partitions are automatically reassigned to other active consumers in the same group. Visualize consumer groups as team of workers. Each team is like a consumer group, and every team gets its own copy of the entire event stream to process. Within that team, individual workers, which are the consumer instances, divide up the lanes. Lanes are the partitions, so the consumers divide up the partitions of the stream to process the events in parallel. So let's put all of these pieces into one grand picture to form our high-level mental model. Producers are your applications that generate events. They send these events to specific topics. Kafka, based on events key or a round-robin strategy, directs each event to a specific or a particular partition within that topic. These partitions are stored on the Kafka brokers in the cluster. Each partition is an ordered, immutable log. Consumers, which are your other applications, belong to consumer groups. Within a consumer group, each consumer instance is assigned one or more partitions. Consumers then pull events from their assigned partitions, processing them at their own pace. Kafka keeps track of the offset or the position for each consumer group in each partition, ensuring orderly and reliable processing. If a broker fails, other brokers in the cluster take over its partitions due to replication, maintaining data availability. If a consumer fails, its partitions are reassigned to other consumers in the same group. This continuous flow of interaction, built on the principles of distribution, immutability, and parallelism, is what makes Apache Kafka such a powerful and flexible platform for handling real-time data at scale. You now have a fantastic high-level mental model of Kafka's architecture. You understand how these pieces fit together.